Is Clair Obscur racist? The garbage Tomb Raider tabletop RPG is dead. A leak proves that Concord was worse than we thought. Speaking of terrible games, Anthem is being shut down, and young people are buying far less video games than they did just a year ago. This is the Marks on Media News Roundup. Let's get into it.
Marks on Media.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a gaming gem caught in a racism controversy. Grow News US reports, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a French RPG from indie studio Sandfall Interactive that has recently become embroiled in a controversy. The studio was accused on social media of racism due to claims that it employs no people of color and allegedly turned away a non-white applicant. Not hiring someone because they're not white and not hiring someone who happens to not be white are completely different things that leftists don't seem to grasp the concept of. However, Sandfall denied the accusations, calling them unverified and harmful, and emphasized its merit-based hiring practices. With haunting BOPOC visuals and turn-based combat, the game remains one of 2025's best-selling and most beloved titles despite the contrived minority uproar. The conversation has sparked a wider debate about diversity in gaming, especially for small studios operating in countries like France where race data isn't officially tracked. That's how it should be everywhere around the world, in my opinion. Critics and supporters have clashed on social media, with some calling for accountability while others dismiss it as cancel culture. I personally dismiss it as a nothing burger by basement-dwelling slacktivists. The lack of evidence behind the accusations complicates the narrative, leaving Clair Obscur caught between genuine concern about representation and reactionary outrage, or, as I said, basement dwellers and disingenuous trolls. Its fate has ultimately rested on the strength of its gameplay, not the controversy surrounding it. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down in the comment section. The Tomb Raider tabletop RPG has been canceled. Evil Hat reports, gather around and shed a tear for the Tomb Raider RPG that never was. Evil Hat Productions just announced that they're canning the Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth project. Apparently, they had some creative differences with the licensor, which is code for someone wanted to inject a little too much social justice into Lara Croft's already perfectly acceptable, non-problematic adventures. Because, truly, who wants a Tomb Raider TTRPG where Lara isn't just, raiding tombs and exploring ancient ruins without being burdened by the weight of modern sensibilities? The press release bravely claims that the Stellar team poured their souls into making an exciting, dynamic RPG of adventure and exploration. And of course, they're proud of the work they've done. I'm sure they are. After all, the market is just aching for another standalone game with a fresh, original setting that definitely wasn't stripped of all of its beloved IP because someone suggested that Lara might not care about indigenous people. Don't worry, they promised that you haven't seen the last of it. Oh joy. We can only imagine the new, totally original title. Perhaps Archaeologist with a bow, unearthing antiquities and questioning colonialism. Sounds like a real winner to me. Let me know your thoughts on all of this, and if you give a damn, down in the comment section. The Concord Alpha build leaked online, raising questions about the Sony flop's rushed development. Bounding into Comics reports, a leaked pre-release build of Concord, the once highly anticipated hero shooter from Firewalk Studios, has exposed just how unfinished the game was before it launched in August 2024. The leaked build, dated November 2023, suggests the final product may have gone to market in an incomplete state, which could explain why Sony quickly delisted the game, shut down its servers, and refunded players after its disastrous performance. Once envisioned as Sony's next flagship franchise, Concord's development was plagued by a toxic positivity culture that stifled healthy critique, and its poorly received character designs became an online punchline. It was basically the LGBTQ DEI version of Fortnite. Firewalk Studios, which Sony acquired in 2023, ultimately shut down only a year later, marking a spectacular collapse for its project once expected to be a multimedia juggernaut. Now, the leaked build, dubbed FW Chaos, has been verified by outlets like Video Games Chronicle, but remains unusable without Sony's digital infrastructure. Its legality is murky, and players are warned not to download it to avoid potential legal consequences. The fiasco has become a cautionary tale about the risks of agenda-driven, poorly managed game development, and how even big publishers like Sony can misjudge what audiences want. With Concord now viewed as a prime example of the pitfalls of chasing forced inclusivity over gameplay quality, many wonder if Sony has truly learned anything from this financial disaster, or if the industry will simply repeat the same mistakes over and over. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down in the comment section. EA will shut down Anthem in January. IGN reports EA has confirmed that it will shut down BioWare's Anthem on January 2nd, 2026, rendering the always-online game completely unplayable. Most gamers claim that it was unplayable from launch, but that's a different story. Anthem's premium currency sales stopped on July 3rd, and the game will leave EA Play on August 15th, 2025, although existing players can still download and play it until its closure. Anthem, launched in 2019 to mixed reviews and disappointing sales, has struggled to meet EA's expectations despite updates. Metacritic's Metascore for the game is a puny 59 out of 100, and the user score is a generally unfavorable 4.0. Meanwhile, IGN gave it an okay rating of 6.5. EA's decision comes amid years of studio layoffs and restructures, with BioWare now shifting focus entirely to Mass Effect 5 after Dragon Age: The Veilguard's poor performance. How did you feel about Anthem, and what do you think of this decision? Let me know down in the comment section. Younger Americans have spent 25% less on video games this year than last. IGN reports a new report shows younger Americans are spending 25% less on video games than a year ago, with 18 to 24-year-olds cutting back more on games than any other expense. Economic pressures like student loan payments, high credit card delinquency rates, and tough job markets are driving the decline, though spending is expected to bounce back with major releases like the Nintendo Switch 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6. Meanwhile, the games industry faces record profits but deep instability, with mass layoffs continuing. Over 2,800 devs have lost jobs so far in 2025 alone, following 14,600 cuts in 2024 and 10,500 in 2023. Microsoft alone has slashed thousands, including closing multiple studios, even as game engagement remains high and cost of games keeps rising. What do you think is the cause for all of this? I personally think that being a hardcore gamer is a luxury that most people can't afford any longer unless you have multiple incomes in one house or you live with your parents. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. I am Troy from Marks on Media, and I'll see you next time.